In this video, I'm going to show you what a Scrum Master actually does and how they can help your team succeed.
Are you listening?
Hey guys, what's up? My name is Caleb King. I'm a software developer, and you might be wondering, what the heck is a Scrum Master? What do they even do? And I'm going to give you all the examples and show you exactly what it means to be one so there's no more confusion. A Scrum Master might sound like a character in a role-playing game, but it's a serious agile project management job that's rooted in leadership. The Scrum Master is responsible for ensuring a true Scrum process over the course of a project. And they hold together the Scrum framework, facilitating the process for organizations, product owners, and a Scrum team. Which leads us into our sponsor for today's video, peopleandtech.io. If you are interested in breaking into tech, but you don't feel like you're a software developer or a product owner, but you might be a great Scrum Master, well, go check us out at peopleandtech.io, as we have an exclusive coaching program where you get to actually work with me directly, and I will give you all the tips and tricks and handhold you on your way to becoming a Scrum Master and breaking into the tech field. So look, what does a Scrum Master do? A Scrum Master helps facilitate Scrum to a larger team by ensuring the Scrum framework is followed. He or she is committed to Scrum values and practices, but should also remain flexible and open to opportunities for the team to improve their overall workflow. Now, Scrum Masters are supposed to be advocates of the Scrum framework. However, there are many polls, and a lot of people will tell you that there is the by the book version of Scrum and what you actually do at your job, that version of Scrum. And it actually begs the question, what does a Scrum Master actually do in 2022? The Scrum Masters are the facilitators of Scrum, the lightweight agile framework with a focus on time-boxed iterations called sprints. And as facilitators, Scrum Masters act as coaches to the rest of the team. They're also known, and very popular saying is, servant leaders. And as the Scrum Guide puts it, good Scrum Masters are committed to the Scrum Foundation values, but remain flexible throughout the period. Now, in an ideal world, teams are self-forming and they can do things on their own without any intervention to actually help them get started. But that's just not the case. So Scrum Masters, in terms of responsibilities, they are facilitating daily stand-ups. They are helping with iteration, sprint planning, protect the team from overcommitting. They have the responsibility of sprint reviews, retrospective, board administration. Usually Scrum Masters are great with tools like Jira, Trello, Asana, any project management type tool, because that allows the development team to focus on development and somebody else to worry about the admin work later. And Scrum Masters, depending on where you work, they conduct one-on-ones. They meet individually with team members, stakeholders as needed, and iron out any team disagreements about the process and work styles. They are internal consultants. Scrum Masters should prepare to consult with their team members, with their stakeholders about how to best work with the Scrum framework. Reporting. Usually, I love my Scrum Masters because they are handling all the reporting, all the burn down charts, the velocity, the cycle time, everything that helps businesses make decisions. Scrum Masters are usually the one putting together that data. They're also very essential into removing obstacles or blockers for the development team. And this is usually where a Scrum Master will aid the team by either reaching out to another team or actually just figuring out what is it that the team needs and go about that process. And lastly, but I know this one is very important, busy work. If a Scrum team isn't humming, then the Scrum Master is a problem. Maybe that means fixing broken computers, moving desks around, even adjusting the thermostat. To give you an example, Scrum Masters are pretty much the person who's on the team where they're willing to do anything and everything to help the team get over the hump. One of my favorite Scrum Masters brought us bagels and snacks just because he knew that was the one way to get his whole team to stay in a room together for longer than 2 hours. Now, do I need a Scrum Master? I mean, any Scrum trainer is going to tell you that a Scrum team needs a Scrum Master, and without one, you're doing something just shy of Scrum, also called Scrum Butt, which I think is funny. Overall, though, when starting out with Scrum, having a Scrum Master can be a huge help. And following the Scrum framework can hopefully help you, but it's not always the one-size-fits-all solution. So what's the difference between a Scrum Master and a project manager? Well, I'll be honest with you. The textbooks would tell you it's all about the how of getting work done and solving workflow problems through the process. But in my experience, many organizations treat them one and the same. A traditional project manager and a Scrum Master are responsible for helping their teams get work done, but their approaches are vastly different. Depending on the organization, because I'll be honest with you, you're going to work at places where they'll tell you they're agile, they tell you they follow Scrum, and they don't do it. And then you're going to work at places that are truly Scrum, where they follow the Scrum process, the Scrum framework, and everything Scrum recommends. They go by the book. So to me, even though textbook's definition says Scrum and project managers are two different roles, in my experience, a lot of the times they're one and the same. Which leads into my last point. Scrum Masters, do they work? Do you need them? And let me just say this. You only need a Scrum Master if your organization is committed to Scrum and invested in the process. Otherwise, Scrum Masters turn into project managers where they do mostly everything a Scrum Master does, except even when they advocate for the Scrum framework, they just get pushed back or denied because they just say, we do something like Scrum, but. So what can a Scrum Master make? Well, the average salary is pretty much around $90,000, but don't let that deter you because I've seen some people start off around 70, 80, 90 and then work their way up. I've seen some people who work full-time and they do coaching, they do consulting on the side. I would say your salary ranges are pretty atypical from 70,000 to about 150,000. But if you work at certain companies, you work at a huge tech company, then it's very possible you can get a much higher salary. Now, why do people like being Scrum Masters? It's probably because they like working with people. They like coaching. They like finding ways where they can be more efficient and more effective. They like looking at the overall process, and they're really good communicators. It's one of those roles where, similar to a product owner, you're technical because you are around developers, you're working on a project, you're working on different products or a product, but at the same time, you're not writing code, but you are building your skill set. You're working with project management tools like Jira or Trello. You are getting data for businesses to make decisions or to be transparent with leadership so they know if a project is on track or getting off track. You are also the one to call out people's BS, because when you're a tech bro or girl, trust me, you will try to pull some shit where you might be like, yeah, I'll get that done in 2 or 3 days. Billy, why did it take you 2 or 3 days to send me an email? So sometimes Scrum Masters are the person who get the whip out and let people know this is not a game. We are here to work, and then we can play later. So what did I miss? Was this an accurate description of Scrum? How do you feel about what I said? Scrum Masters and project managers are pretty much one and the same in the industry. But do you agree? Do you disagree with that? Share your comment below and hit that like button for me, and stay tuned for more content like this in the future. But for now, we are out. Peace.